Thank you, Professor. And what does this initiative mean? Well, first of all, even though it was an initiative we began, and immediately my dear friend Tayyip signed on to this initiative, I think that the fact that we have had such a successful participation in this meeting shows, in fact, what Prime Minister Gonzi was saying earlier, that there is a sense of a consciousness or an understanding of the real threats that we are facing in the region for our culture, for our livelihood, for our economies, for our security, for our way of life, and that this has sprung up not maybe on our initiative, but as I think a very strong common will. So I think that's the first point. There is a common will despite the diversity, despite the fact that we know there are difficult issues and conflicts around the region. Well, I think we are showing this, Greece and Turkey, Palestine, Israel, other areas in the region. We are, I think, being able to show that this is an issue which, in the end, means the survival of all of us, and we need to pool our strengths together, our resources together, and work towards solutions. I think a second point, which is looking, as many have said, about the threats, there is also the opportunity to make changes, to use this dynamic. Prime Minister Erdogan talked about his program in Turkey. We in Greece see green development, that's how we call it, green development, as an opportunity for Greece. Greece, as you know very well, I assume, has gone through and still is going through a difficult crisis, an economic crisis. One of the aspects of the crisis, just one, but it is an important one, was the competitiveness of our economy, other than our deficit or debt. The competitiveness of the economy was actually contributing to some of our deficits and debts. And what we see is that if we are to be competitive, we have to move into a green economy. Actually, we see the green economy as an opportunity to make our development one which is, as we say, viable. And this means that a very different type of tourist industry, which is very closely linked with the environment, with quality, a very different type of agricultural development, which is very linked with our traditional Mediterranean diet, which is actually a much healthier diet than the ones we get through our fast food industries. Hopefully the fast food industries will also move in towards the healthier diets. But using higher technologies, different technologies, newer technologies in the agricultural industries, in water management, and of course in our cities where construction, the type of construction, the retrofitting of the older buildings, these are areas which in fact will contribute to the quality of our life. And as Prime Minister Gonzi said, the tourists, if we have quality of life, the tourists will have the quality of their visit also and their stay when they are here. So I think it is a win-win situation if we move in that direction. Greece also has, and the region has, I believe, a comparative advantage. We are one of the countries with the highest potential for wind power in Europe. We have solar, of course, and geothermal power. These are areas we are tapping into. We have already moved ahead with new legislation so that we can bring investment. And I don't get into statistics, but just the fact that we may be able to create in the next 5 or so years over 250,000 jobs, and using both EU, national and private funding, leverage up to 45 billion euros in the renewable energy sector. These are areas, I think, that just shows the growth potential for energy. Now, what I would say is that this initiative, I think, is also different in the fact that we are not only using this regional aspect to move forward, but we are also linking climate change with a different style of development, a different type of development, different actually type of life, which hopefully is, and I believe is, a much more quality type of life, because we have gone down into a consumer society which had all kinds of ramifications, not only on our environment, but also on our personal relations, our family relations, our neighborhoods, our cities. And this is why I think that Copenhagen was an opportunity. We missed that opportunity. We have discussed, you have discussed Cancun. What should have happened in Copenhagen is if we had created the necessary framework, our agreements, whatever they would be, which would then lower the risk and give new prospects to private capital to invest, so that we governments could in fact ensure that investment in green development was a prosperous or a less risk-free investment. I think we could have then stimulated much more investment and linked that to fighting not only the climate change, but also the economic doldrums, the economic recession that we still are going through. We didn't have that, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't move in that direction, and move in that direction at a regional at least level. Europe, the Mediterranean, but also the wider regions, Africa. And this is something I think that this initiative can help stimulate. I would therefore also want to welcome that tomorrow we will be here in a different session where there will be many investors and interested enterprises in investing in the region for this reason. One more final point, just on the public opinion. I think that more and more people are aware of the problems, but I think as we are moving into green technology, we will see how there will be changes in people's lives which will be beneficial. Retrofitting, for example, we are moving in this direction now, in creating jobs in a time when we have a recession in Greece, creating jobs where a traditional industry, the construction industry, has its problems, but retrofitting could become a very important stimulus, not only for the construction industry, but also for the consumer of energy, so that the electricity bills are much lower, and so that we can also have cooler houses in the summer and warmer houses in the winter. This, I think, just shows that we can link very, very tangible results to this issue of green development. This will also, I think, affect our educational system, and we need to reshape our educational systems in a way that we promote this new philosophy, but also reshape our educational systems to bring out the necessary new professions or new knowledge in existing professions in order to take advantage of all this new technology, this new wealth of knowledge that will be coming out of this new model of growth. So I think that there is a huge area of work, and I'm very happy to understand that both Malta and Turkey will be in a complementary way next year taking on the baton of this initiative, and we of course will be backing this very strongly. Thank you very much.